Hi, my name is Mar, and I come here to present the topic of my thesis, the role of unlearning in higher education, in a nutshell. But hold on, what is unlearning? Let me try explain with some drawings.
Unlearning is about consciously letting go of what no longer serves us, creating a space within our minds and in ourselves for new knowledge to inspire us and drive positive change. It is about revisiting how our past experiences shape our present perceptions and future possibilities, becoming more aware of who we are and where we come from.
Unlearning is like being on top of a cliff, and this cliff is made out of your systems of beliefs and assumptions of the world and everything that you know. It's your earth, and that's where you're grounded. And all of a sudden, you have this feeling that you really want to jump out of the cliff of what you know into the void of the unknown. Unlearning is this jump, gathering confidence in oneself and trust in life that wherever you will end up, it will be better than the boredom and the circularity of staying in this one island of knowledge. Unlearning is believing in the possibility that you have wings, and that by jumping and taking this leap of faith, you will start flying and traveling to other places. And now, of course, getting to the strength and the courage to jump challenges us, because we need to be faithful in ourselves and in the world. We have to surrender the fears of letting go of that which is certain and comfortable and that which is already there. And this can cause grieving, because you can look back to that island and you can be like, but I actually was comfortable there.
Learning to unlearn has a lot of potential for finding solutions to the complex web of individual, societal, and environmental problems that we face. This is done under the paradigm of transformative learning, where learners are encouraged to develop their critical thinking and become agents of change for a more just and equal society.
With unlearning, we open a space of receptivity within ourselves. For the literature review, I searched within the databases all those papers that included unlearning and higher education or university in their abstract. This sounds boring, and most of the times it was really tedious because I felt like I was just being a machine, but it was actually quite exciting because the literature will appear, so it didn't allow for me to manipulate the results. I ended up with 20 articles and I deeply read them, and I came up with 4 main themes. Let me just go directly to what I have found.
Unlearning is a tool for adaptation. It equips individuals to navigate societal changes with confidence, fostering innovation and risk-taking. Embracing unlearning in teaching encourages students to reflect and challenge the status quo of traditional learning and fostering inclusivity. Another role it has is creating an unlearning environment. By fostering openness and compassion, educational spaces can challenge ingrained biases and attitudes to promote diverse perspectives, leading to transformative learning experiences. And last, unlearning serves as a precursor to deep learning, as it takes a look at the skills and values that didn't serve us, seeing the process as an ongoing and endless journey of constant knowledge discovery. So unlearning can act as a tool, it can act as a pedagogy, it can act as an environment, and it can act as a learning precursor. Unlearning can evoke discomfort and resistance, requiring patience and support from both educators and institutions. Emotional intelligence is really needed to create a space where we can be vulnerable and we can embrace the fact that we are human, and embrace that sometimes we simply don't know. In order to be innovative, we need to open ourselves to not knowing, and new knowledge will appear and inspire us to create new ways of thinking, knowing, and being. But what is exactly the role of unlearning? The role of unlearning in higher education is to liberate us, where knowledge is flourishing, it's growing, it's being created. It's not an end product, it's a process, it's a journey. And so educators who engage in unlearning mainly strive for a more just and equal, aware and authentic and honest way of teaching. And they open themselves up to their students, and they're passionate, and they're constantly on the lookout for ways in which they can induce their students to also do the same. With caring approaches to education, unlearning opens the space for new possibilities to reimagining our world and to reframe the ways in which complexity and uncertainty are seen in this vast, complex and uncertain and scary world that causes so much distress and fear in students. Unlearning is a slow process,
and it requires attention to the details and presence. This allows for a more respectful way of engaging with everything, letting go of ego-centered approaches and engaging more eco-centered approaches. Teachers who didn't feel resistance from their institutions showed a lot of gratitude, and on the other hand, teachers who feel resistance from their institutions feel more alone in the process of making the world a better place with respect to the wider picture of society as a whole. So it is really important that unlearning happens both from the institutions towards the individual and from the individual towards the institutions. It's a process we all have to engage in. And it doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter whether you are an individual or a learner or a teacher or a policymaker. It doesn't matter. We all have to unlearn the ways in which we see the world that are not true. This is a challenging process that must be carefully implanted in universities if we want it to be effective and successful. So I propose integrating ways of learning and unlearning that include joy, vulnerability, and attention to the emotions through the framework of transformative learning. This way we can listen to the heart's desires and excitements at the time that we're learning and engage in a transformation of education, a paradigm shift through which learners become authentic and they have something to give to the world, and they're no longer fabricators of knowledge, but they are incubators and they take care of what they know and they want to nurture it with love. This was quite a journey because I got some unexpected results and I got confronted with my own identity and I engaged in unlearning myself. I hope this video can inspire you to think and reflect about the ways in which you could be contributing to a better world through higher education, and that at least sparkles in you the desire for change, the desire for unlearn, and the desire to break free from your own chains of the past. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Ciao!